You want her to think about you, not just once or twice, but constantly. The kind of thinking that keeps her up at night, the kind that makes her check her phone, the kind that makes her wonder what you're doing right now. Most men think the answer is more attention, more texts, more effort, more chasing. They're wrong. What actually makes a woman think about you nonstop is the exact opposite. It's what you stop doing. It's what you pull back. It's the space you create. And I'm going to show you exactly how this works. But first, you need to understand something that nobody talks about. Women don't obsess over men who are always available. They obsess over men they can't quite figure out. Men who don't need them. Men who have something else going on. This isn't a game. This isn't manipulation. This is how attraction actually works in the female brain. Let me explain. When you're always there, always responding, always available, something happens in her mind. She stops wondering. She stops chasing. She stops feeling that pull. Because you've already given her all the answers. You've shown her that she's your priority, that you'll drop everything for her, that you need her more than she needs you. And the moment she feels that, the moment she knows she has you completely, the attraction starts to fade. Not because she's cruel, not because she's playing games, but because uncertainty creates desire, and certainty kills it. Think about the last time you wanted something really badly. Maybe it was a job. Maybe it was a goal. Maybe it was respect from someone you admired. You thought about it all the time, right? You obsessed over it. You imagined what it would feel like to have it. You played out scenarios in your mind. But the moment you got it, the moment it became yours, that obsession faded. That's not shallow. That's human nature. The chase matters. The mystery matters. The challenge matters. And when you remove all of that by being too available, too predictable, too eager, you remove the very thing that makes her think about you. Now, I'm not saying you should play games. I'm not saying you should ignore her or treat her badly. I'm saying you should have a life that doesn't revolve around her. Because when you do, everything changes. She starts to notice your absence. She starts to wonder why you're not texting as much. She starts to feel something she hasn't felt in a while. Uncertainty. And with that uncertainty comes curiosity. And with curiosity comes thought. Constant thought. Let me break this down step by step. Because if you apply this correctly, you'll shift from being the guy she takes for granted to the guy she can't stop thinking about. First, you need to understand the power of your absence. Right now, you're probably too present in her life. You respond instantly. You initiate most conversations. You're the one putting in effort while she just exists. And she's comfortable with that. She knows you're not going anywhere. She knows you'll always be there. So she doesn't have to think about you. She doesn't have to worry about losing you. You've become predictable. And predictable doesn't create obsession. So the first shift is this. Pull back your presence without explanation. Don't announce it. Don't make it dramatic. Don't say you're going to be less available. Just be less available. When she texts you, don't respond in 2 minutes. Respond in 2 hours. Or 4. Or the next day. Not to punish her. Not to play games. But because you genuinely have other things going on. You're at the gym. You're working on a project. You're with friends. You're building something. And when you do respond, keep it short. Keep it warm, but not desperate. She's used to long conversations where you carry everything. She's used to you asking questions, keeping things going, making her feel special without her doing anything. Stop doing that. Match her energy. If she sends 1 sentence, you send 1 sentence. If she's not asking about your day, don't write paragraphs about it. This does something powerful. It makes her feel the imbalance she's created. Suddenly, she's the one wondering if you're still interested. She's the one feeling like maybe she should put in more effort. She's the one thinking about you. Because for the first time, she's not sure where she stands. And that uncertainty is magnetic. Second, stop being emotionally available on demand. Most men make themselves her therapist, her cheerleader, her emotional support system, all while getting nothing in return. She vents to you about her problems. You listen. You give advice. You make her feel better. Then she disappears until she needs you again. And you let it happen because you think being there for her will make her fall for you. It won't. It'll make her see you as safe, as comfortable, as the guy who's always there when she needs something, not as the guy she's attracted to. So stop being her emotional crutch. When she comes to you with drama, don't drop everything to fix it. Be supportive, but brief. She'll notice. She'll feel the difference. And she'll start wondering why you're not as invested as you used to be. That question will live in her mind rent-free. Third, let her see that you're not sitting around waiting for her. Post things that show you're living, not for her attention, but because you actually are. You're out with friends. You're working on yourself. You're doing things that make you better. She'll see it, and she'll feel something. Regret, curiosity, maybe even jealousy, because she's starting to realize that you're not frozen in time waiting for her to decide if you're worth her energy. You're moving. You're growing. You're becoming someone. And the more she sees that, the more she'll think about you. Women are attracted to momentum, to progress, to men who are going somewhere, not to men who are stuck obsessing over them. So become the man who's going somewhere. Hit the gym. Build your career. Learn a skill. Create something. Invest in friendships. Travel if you can. Read. Grow. Do it for you, not for her. But know that she'll notice. And when she does, you'll go from background noise to someone she can't stop wondering about. Fourth, stop validating her for free. You've been giving her compliments, attention, and validation without her earning any of it. Every time she posts something, you like it. You comment. You hype her up. Every time you talk, you tell her she's amazing, beautiful, special. And she soaks it up without giving anything back. This makes her feel good, yes, but it doesn't make her think about you. Because validation from someone who always gives it loses its value. It's like money. If someone hands you $100 every time you see them, it stops feeling special. But if someone who rarely gives compliments suddenly says something meaningful, you remember it. You think about it. So stop being her validation machine. Stop liking every post. Stop commenting on everything. Stop complimenting her unless she's actually done something worth recognizing. When you do give her attention, make it count. Make it rare. Make it specific. She'll start to notice when you don't react. She'll wonder why. She'll check to see if you saw it. And just like that, she's thinking about you. Fifth, create mystery around your life. Right now, she knows everything about you. You've told her your whole story, your struggles, your fears, your daily routine. You've made yourself an open book because you thought vulnerability would bring you closer. But too much too soon just makes you predictable. Mystery is attractive. The unknown is magnetic. So stop sharing everything. When she asks what you did today, don't give her a full breakdown. Give her a hint, a glimpse. Just handled some things. It was a good day. That's it. She'll want to know more. She'll ask follow-up questions. She'll start paying attention to details she used to ignore. Because now there's something she doesn't know, and that gap will haunt her. She'll start creating stories in her mind about what you're doing, who you're with, what you're becoming. And the more she wonders, the more she thinks about you. Sixth, don't chase closure or explanation. If she's been distant, if she's been cold, if she's pulled back, your instinct is to ask why, to fix it, to talk it out, to get answers. Don't. Let it sit. Let her feel the space. Let her sit with the consequences of her actions. When you chase her for answers, you give her power. You show her that her mood controls yours, that her distance affects you. But when you don't react, when you just keep living, she feels something different. She feels like maybe she made a mistake. Maybe she pushed away someone who wasn't going to beg. And that thought will replay in her mind over and over. Women respect men who don't crumble when they pull away. Men who don't fall apart. Men who remain solid. Be that man. Seventh, become slightly unpredictable. You've had a routine with her. You text at the same times. You respond the same way. You show up the same energy. She's learned your pattern. And patterns are boring. So break it. Sometimes respond fast. Sometimes take a day. Sometimes be warm and engaged. Sometimes be short and busy. Not in a chaotic way, but in a way that reflects a real, full life. She won't be able to predict you anymore. And that unpredictability will keep her alert. She'll start wondering what changed, why you're different, if there's someone else, if you're losing interest, And all of those questions keep her thinking about you. Now, let me be clear about something. This isn't about playing with someone's emotions. This isn't about being cold or cruel or manipulative. This is about reclaiming your value. You've been overinvesting in someone who's underinvesting in you. You've been pouring energy into someone who takes it for granted. And all I'm telling you is to stop. Stop giving more than you get. Stop being available to someone who isn't available to you. Stop making someone your priority when you're just an option to them. This isn't a strategy. This is self-respect. And the beautiful thing is, self-respect is attractive. When you value your time, she values it too. When you value your energy, she notices. When you value yourself, she starts to see you differently. Not as the guy who's always there, but as the guy she might lose. And that shift changes everything. Because here's what most men don't realize. Women don't fall for perfection. They don't fall for men who try the hardest or give the most. They fall for men they're afraid to lose. And right now, she's not afraid to lose you. Because you've made it clear she won't. You've shown her through your actions that no matter what she does, you'll still be there. Still responding. Still hoping. Still waiting. So she has no reason to think about you. No reason to worry. No reason to chase. But the moment you step back, the moment you reclaim your energy and put it into yourself, everything flips. Suddenly, she's not sure. Suddenly, there's doubt. Suddenly, she feels the gap. And that gap becomes the space where obsession grows. Let me tell you what happens in her mind when you pull back the right way. At first, she won't notice. Or she'll notice, but won't care. She's used to you being there, so a day or two of silence doesn't register. But then it continues. You're not chasing. You're not asking her how she's doing. You're not trying to start conversations. And she starts to feel it. A small uncomfortable feeling, like something's off. She'll check her phone. She'll wonder if she missed a message. She'll think about texting you, but she won't want to seem like she cares. So she waits. And while she waits, she thinks. She thinks about the last time you talked. She thinks about what she said. She wonders if she did something wrong. Then she'll see you living your life. Maybe through social media. Maybe through mutual friends. And she'll notice you're not falling apart. You're not sad. You're not posting sad quotes or acting hurt. You're just fine. Better than fine, actually. You look good. You seem happy. You seem busy. And that's when it really hits her. You're not waiting for her anymore. She's no longer the center of your world. And that realization stings in a way she didn't expect. Because even if she didn't want you the way you wanted her, she liked knowing you were there. She liked the attention. She liked feeling wanted. And now that it's gone, she feels the loss. That loss becomes curiosity. Curiosity becomes thoughts. Thoughts become obsession. She'll start remembering the good things about you. The way you made her laugh. The way you listened. The way you showed up. Things she took for granted before suddenly seem valuable now that they're not being offered. This is not manipulation. This is consequence. She got comfortable, and comfort made her careless. Your absence is just showing her what she's actually losing. And if she has any emotional intelligence at all, she'll feel it deeply. Now, here's where a lot of guys mess up. They do this for a week, maybe two, and then the moment she reaches out, they fold. She sends a casual hey, and suddenly they're back to paragraphs. Back to availability. Back to chasing. And just like that, the power shifts back to her. Don't do that. If she reaches out, be warm. Be kind. But stay consistent with your new energy. Don't reward breadcrumbs with a feast. She texts hey, you text back, hey, what's up, and leave it there. Let her carry the conversation. Let her put in effort. If she's actually interested, she will. If she's just bored or checking if you're still on the hook, she won't. And that tells you everything you need to know. Your job is not to convince her of your worth. Your job is to become so solid in your worth that her opinion of you doesn't shake you. That's the energy that makes women think about you nonstop. Not neediness. Not chasing. Not trying to prove yourself. But calm, quiet confidence that you're good with or without her. Let me say that again because it's important. You have to actually be okay without her. Not pretending. Not faking it until she notices. Actually okay. That means you're building a life you're proud of. You're investing in yourself. You're healing old wounds. You're growing into the kind of man you respect. When that's real, it shows. And when it shows, she feels it. She feels that you're not playing games. You're not doing this to get her back. You're genuinely moving forward. And that's terrifying to her, because it means she's running out of time. If she wants you, she'll have to show it. She'll have to step up. She'll have to risk rejection just like you did. And most women aren't used to that. They're used to being chased, to being chosen, to sitting back and letting men compete for them. But when a man stops competing and just starts living, it flips the entire script. Suddenly, she's the one who has to decide. She's the one who has to act. She's the one who has to prove herself. And that role reversal is powerful. It puts you back in control. Not control over her, but control over yourself. You're no longer reactive. You're no longer waiting by the phone. You're no longer handing her your piece on a silver platter. You're protecting it. You're honoring it. You're choosing yourself. And when a woman sees a man choose himself with no bitterness, no ego, no games, just pure self-respect, it does something to her. It makes her think. It makes her question. It makes her wonder if she's been wrong about you this whole time. Maybe you're not the desperate guy she thought you were. Maybe you're actually someone worth keeping. And once that thought enters her mind, it's hard to shake. She'll compare you to other guys. She'll remember how you treated her. She'll replay moments she didn't appreciate before. And slowly, the man she took for granted becomes the man she can't stop thinking about. This is where you need to hear something important. You are not broken. You are not unworthy. You are not too much or not enough. You just gave your energy to someone who wasn't ready to match it. And that's not your fault. But staying there, hoping she'll change, hoping she'll finally see you, that's a choice. And it's a choice that will drain you. So choose differently. Choose to build yourself. Choose to protect your peace. Choose to become the kind of man who doesn't need anyone's validation to know he's valuable. Because here's the truth. Whether she comes back or not, you'll be fine. Better than fine. You'll be stronger, clearer, more grounded. You'll look back one day and realize that this moment, this pain, this confusion, it was the turning point. The moment you stopped looking for worth in someone else's eyes and started finding it in your own. And that's when everything changes. Not just with her, with everyone. People feel it when you know your value, when you're not negotiating it, when you're not trying to convince them. They feel the shift, and they respond to it. Women who ignored you start noticing. Women who took you for granted start reaching out. Women who didn't see you suddenly do. Not because you changed your face or your money or your status, but because you changed your energy. You stopped chasing. You stopped shrinking. You stopped apologizing for wanting something real. And you started walking like a man who has options. Like a man who's going somewhere. Like a man who doesn't need permission to be confident. That version of you is magnetic. And the woman who's been taking you for granted will feel it too. She'll see the difference. She'll feel the loss. And if she's smart, she'll try to come back. But here's the thing. By the time she does, you might not even care anymore. Because you'll have tasted freedom. You'll have felt what it's like to put yourself first. And you'll realize how good it feels to not beg for attention. Maybe you'll give her a chance. Maybe you won't. But either way, you'll be choosing from a place of strength, not desperation. And that's the whole point. This was never about getting her to obsess over you. It was about you reclaiming yourself. The obsession is just a side effect. When you're living your life, growing, healing, building, women notice. They think about you. They wonder. They regret. Not because you're playing games, but because you stopped playing altogether. You became real. You became rare. You became someone who doesn't settle. And rare is valuable. So here's what I want you to do. Stop waiting for her text. Stop checking if she's online. Stop hoping she'll realize what she lost. Start acting like you already know what you're worth. Go to the gym. Work on your goals. Spend time with people who actually value you. Build something. Create something. Become someone. Do it in silence. No posts for validation. No updates to make her jealous. Just real, solid growth. And then, one day, she'll reach out. Or she won't. And you'll be good either way. Because you're not doing this for her anymore. You're doing it for you. That's the energy that makes a woman think about you nonstop. Not tricks, not tactics, not games. Just a man who chose himself and never looked back. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever pulled back from someone and saw them suddenly start chasing? Or are you in a situation right now where you're the one always putting in effort? Drop a comment below. Let's talk about it. Because the more honest we are about this stuff, the more we all grow. And if this hit you, if you felt something shift while watching, share this with a friend who needs to hear it. Sometimes one video is all it takes to change the way a man sees himself. Be that shift for someone today. I'll see you in the next one.